congregation of Salem. I am the Reverend Monica Jacobson. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve this congregation as minister. We are so glad you have chosen to come and be part of this gathered community. All of you here in the sanctuary, all of you joining us online, we know that it is a choice every week to come and be part of constituting this community, and that this community only exists when we choose to come and be part of it. So thank you for being here. Got to find my notes. Here we go. Leading worship with me today are Janet Stevens as our celebrant. Not calling on you, Janet, don't worry. Margaret Gregg is our Lifelines lay minister. Lori Ann Schmidt is at the piano. Sarah Pickett is at the tech table. Grace Curran is our music director. And Doc Hadley made our slides for worship today. We have gathered not only as a co-creation, but also as a community of seekers, each of us carrying questions, searching for wisdom and inspiration, looking for what we need to live lives of meaning in a world which needs us so very much. You are welcome here exactly as you are. Whomever you love, whatever beliefs sustain you, however you understand and express your identities, and in all the ways you are becoming the person you will be. We know that creation of the self is an ongoing act, just as the creation of community is. So welcome. Let's share a good deep breath so we can help ourselves know that we are here and not anyplace else. We are breathing together in this time, in this place. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to rise in body, in voice, or in spirit for our opening hymn. For some reason, it is in the hymnal as May Nothing Evil Cross This Door. The actual title of the text is Prayer for This House, and I'm a little bit pedantic about it, so you'll see it listed that way. We're going to have lyrics up here on the slides. You can also pull out your hymnal. It's hymn number 1.
Just take a moment to look at the words that are projected on the screen or in your order of service that are affirmation. I just think it would be nice to kind of look at them and see if that's something that you all feel comfortable with and can agree to? And if so, perhaps we could say them aloud together, as is our custom. Love is our doctrine. Compassion is our way. Here we seek to create a joyful home for free religious exploration. Build a community of caring fellowship. Nurture the hopes and serve the needs of our world. The Unitarian Universalist flaming chalice originated in 1941. It was designed by Austrian artist Hans Deutsch as a symbol of hope and safety for the Unitarian Service Committee who aided refugees fleeing Nazi persecution. It combined a chalice representing healing with a flame representing sacrifice and service. Now let us light our chalices as a symbol of the service and healing each of you bring to our world. It is our custom here at UUCS to kindle 3 flames each Sunday. Usually, I say the first is for you, the members and friends of this congregation, and it is. But today, let's light this flame to all souls who are in need of light and warmth and healing. Our second chalice is for our partner church, located in Szymon-Falva, Transylvania. And we light our lantern for children everywhere, as they are our future. Let's sing the flame light.
When we gather for worship, we gather as a community of all ages. And we know that there are particular ways that we collectively can explore wisdom through the insights of those who are the youngest among us. So if you are a child, a youth, or someone who's feeling particularly young at heart today and you'd like to come forward and join me up here, I need your help. I have some questions. Also, if you're Archie the dog, come on up. I need some golden retriever hair. Hey, buddy. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming up. I have something in my hands this morning. Does it sound like beads? It does kind of sound like beads, doesn't it? It kind of sounds like a shaker. It's not a shaker, though. Can everybody come forward and take one of these? There you go. Yeah. You can, yeah. Sure. We've got plenty. Are you going to give them to somebody? How about you just take one then? Yeah, thank you. You can pick one. You want to pick one? Okay. Did everybody get one? I'm going to pick one out. There you go. What are these? What are you holding? Heartstones. If your glasses prescription allows you to see, grown-ups, these are little stones shaped like hearts. Why do you think I might have a handful of heartstones? Oh, a couple of different ideas. One, sometimes we drop special stones in the water to symbolize things. Sometimes we might give them to others to symbolize friendship. Yeah. What does a heart remind you of? Love. Excellent. Friendship. Does it remind you of being kind to people? Yeah, that's a loving thing to do, right? So our theme this month has been paying attention. If you've been here on some other Sundays, we've talked about paying attention to lots of different kinds of things. Do you think there's a connection between love and paying attention? Yeah. That's right. So it's really kind when you pay attention, and that is a way of showing love. Excellent. Yeah. What is it that helps you pay attention? How do you know? When you sit next to? Yeah, okay. So when you're sitting next to somebody, that can help you. Yeah, sometimes you can pay attention. You can notice when somebody is new and go out and be kind and play with them. Very nice, thank you, yeah. Caffeine can help you pay attention. Raise your hand if caffeine helps you pay attention. Those of you who are young can try caffeine when you're older to help you pay attention. Those of you who are already deeply in the caffeine spiral, we see each other. Yes. Caffeine can help you pay attention. And bringing someone caffeine can be an act of love, right? I'm just saying, when the coffee's already brewed when I come downstairs, oh, I feel so loved. So paying attention and offering love and kindness to each other really go together. Do you ever feel like there's a little voice inside you or a little reminder that helps you pay attention and offer kindness to others? Yeah, some people call it the still small voice. Some people say they're listening to their heart. So as we are ending our month of paying attention, you all can take these little hearts with you to help you remember that one of the things we do is pay attention to where we can offer love and kindness to each other. And you can remember that this is a community where we want to offer love and kindness to every one of you. And we're so happy you choose to be here. Thanks for joining me this morning to talk about this. If our center aisle can make a love arch, we have some activities for children and youth. So we're going to sing as you go out, and you'll be able to go down and do some activities together. You can do that, that's fine. Wherever you go, go in love. Wherever you go, go in peace. Wherever you go in beauty all around you. Our hearts go with you. Wherever you go in love. Wherever you go in peace. Wherever you go in beauty all around you. Our hearts go with you.
I don't do well with disorder and chaos. I like the world around me to be organized and predictable. And when all hell breaks loose, like it has, I feel really lost, feel broken, and very, very frightened. I want to curl up in a corner, pull my blanket over my head, plug my ears, and scream. But thanks to my friends, my UUism, and my need to do all I can to leave a better world for my daughters and my grandsons, I show up. Yesterday, I joined thousands. I guess if you look worldwide, tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of people, including many of you, in peaceful resistance. There, in that tumultuous mob, total chaos, surrounded by strangers, as well as friends, I felt healed. My soul was restored. I was reminded that, indeed, we are a gentle, angry people. And we are singing and dancing and rallying and working together for our lives and the lives of all people. May it be so.
In just a moment, I'm going to invite you into a shared singing practice. But first, I want to say a little bit about what we're going to sing. This is a very simple piece called Hold On. I learned it from clergy colleagues who answered the call to go to Minneapolis in January in faithful witness and opposition to the chaos of these immigration actions. That's not really a strong enough word. The composer, Heidi Wilson, has written this about the song. In January 2026, the people of Minneapolis inspired the rest of the country with what it looks like to really take care of one another in the face of escalating ICE raids and authoritarian violence. They walked kids to school, delivered food to neighbors, stood on street corners in rapid response, and they sang. She says, I am humbled and moved that this song has been useful to them and has been picked up by people around the world to sing in solidarity. Heidi Wilson wrote Hold On in January of 2020 when a teen in a small town near her in Vermont was lost to suicide, and it hit the community hard. She was asked to help organize something for grieving friends and family, to create a simple ritual of connection, a song that could hold grief and magnify fortitude and collective hope. This is the song that she wrote and has continued to share with the world. I believe we'll have, we've got a slide up here. The lyrics are also in your order of service. It's quite simple. We're just going to start singing it. You can listen, you can hum, you can join in whenever you feel ready. And we're going to sing it until we feel complete. Do you want to lead it or do you want me to lead it?
I'll let you lead it.
Okay.
Okay.
I need a starting pitch, please.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. My dear ones, here comes the dawn. that song and know you are connected to so many others singing it in these times. Thank you for learning it today. We'll sing it again. Not in this service, in another service. And now, in the spirit of what helps us hold on, I'm going to invite Margaret Gregg to come up as our Lifelines lay minister. We know that part of what holds us in community is the chance to share with each other the joys and the sorrows, the milestones of our lives.
Good morning, everyone. That last one really got to me, so I'm emotional. We have a lot to share today. My name is Margaret Gregg, and I'm honored to be one of your Lifelines lay ministers. We're fellow members of the congregation who are here to help people in times of need. You can find us by looking for our lavender stoles and badges, and one of our duties is sharing the joys and sorrows of members and friends of this congregation. Because we know that sorrows shared may be lightened even a little bit, and joy shared may be magnified. We have a lot to share today. A joy comes in from Jen Bay. Our business, signed, sealed, and delivered, is now open in Kaiser. 6 months in the making, and our doors are finally open. We celebrate with you. We have a sorrow from Megan Roller. Our family experienced a loss of Aunt Pam on Tuesday from a stroke. She was surrounded by family. Our hearts are with you, Megan. Gloria and Alan Holland have a sorrow. On December 5th, our nephew Kevin Smith was diagnosed with a large brain tumor on the base of his brain. Sadly, Kevin died on Thursday of complications from the surgery. He was only 62 years old. Gentle thoughts and prayers for the family will be greatly appreciated. We're thinking of you. We have a joy from Satya and Mary Riversong, celebrating our 34th anniversary. Nothing left but joyous days. Congratulations. Gary Klein is having some hardships. After 12 years of talking about it, I finally filed divorce paperwork to terminate my 28-year relationship. The most painful part is having to list how to separate all the things that we bought across the decades. This is not easy, and lots of us understand that. And there's an anonymous entry here. I can't imagine who it came from. Rhonda Holt's birthday is today. Congratulations. And we light one more candle for all the joys and sorrows that have stayed in our hearts. And I wish you a wonderful week.
This sharing of joys and sorrows, this practice of singing together, these are rituals that we create every week in this congregation. And another is to take time for a centering practice. Today, I want to invite you into some embodied practices, a chance to choose to do something if you would like to choose to do it this morning. We have 2 stations up here with vessels of water, and right near them, there are these hearts cut out of dissolving paper. So the invitation is this morning, if you notice that there is something heavy on your heart, that you would like to come and lay into the water of community, watch it dissolve out into that water. Watch it be held in this water. you will have a chance to come to either of these places and do that. If you are inspired by our children, one of whom chose to drop a heart-shaped stone in, we also still have some of those, if you'd prefer to drop a little stone in. And I want to let you know that we have an addition out in our foyer, which is a vessel of water with polished stones around it. That is available all week long. Anytime you are here in the building, if there is something you want to place into the water of this community, you can pick up a stone, you can hold it, you can ask that stone to carry, whether it is grief or fear, or if you want that stone imbued with hope or joy, you can do that. And when it feels right, release the stone into the water out there anytime you're here. These practices can be an important act to help us all remember that we are not alone, that we carry with and for each other so much of what is in our lives. I also want to name that the stand out there in the foyer came from longtime UUCS member Marge French, who died recently and whose life we will celebrate on April 17th. So it is a particularly powerful symbol of what it is to gather in community and to hold and remember together. This morning, if you would like to come and choose a dissolving paper heart or a little stone heart, you are invited to come and do so. We are going to share in singing hymn number 1002, Comfort Me. And as we sing, those who would like to come forward can come forward. We'll have the words up here. It's also in the teal hymnal. And if you'd prefer simply to hum or to listen, that is always fine. Whatever is right for you this morning. Please come and share.
Come
Post-traumatic wisdom means that when you've lived through adversity, you can come to a point in your life when you can look back, reflect, learn, and grow from the experience. I believe it's hard to understand humankind unless you know a little bit about adversity. Adversity, challenges, disappointment, loss, trauma, all can contribute to the capacity to be broadly empathetic, to become wise. Trauma and adversity, in a way, are gifts. What we do with those gifts will differ from person to person. It is true, though, that the cost of wisdom can be very high. And for many people, the pain never goes away. The wise learn how to carry their burden with grace, often to protect others from the emotional intensity of their pain.
I want to start by naming that in any given room, there are always a variety of people who have experienced incredibly hard things, painful things, traumatic things. And so as we start talking about what resilience and healing can look like, I want to say that if you need a break today, if something in this topic is too heavy or feels too tender, please take care of yourself. If you need to get up and stand to one of the sides so you can sway, if you need to step out, if you need to go all the way outdoors and touch grass, as the teenagers say, do what you need to do to care for yourself. The path toward healing is different for each and every person. And there is no such thing as a schedule or the only way to do it. And so I know that this can be something that needs us to take care with ourselves. Last fall, I read a book, the one that passage came from, co-authored by Dr. Bruce Perry, who is a psychologist and neurologist, and Oprah Winfrey of talk show fame. The core premise of their book is that we live in a society in which people most often ask, "What's wrong with you?" Or sometimes, "What's wrong with me?" And that neurology and psychology teach us that the more important question is, what happened to you? What happened to me? What happened to you is, in fact, the title of their book. The question really is, what is the story of your life? What events have shaped the associations your brain makes and your patterns of behavior? Dr. Perry puts it this way when thinking about what has happened to people and about the common definition of resilience, which he says doesn't really serve us. He writes, if you take a Nerf ball, you all picturing a Nerf ball? If you take a Nerf ball and squeeze it, bend it, apply all kinds of force to it, it will in the end return to its original ball-like shape. The Nerf ball is resilient in the sense of the kind of resilience people often are talking about when they say things like, well, kids are resilient in the wake of trauma. This is wishful thinking, he says. This idea that a child or anyone could return to their prior level of emotional, physical, social, and cognitive health unchanged But, he says, that is simply not the way this works. We are always changing. We change from all of our experiences, from good and bad. His comments remind me of a therapist I worked with for years who would say, our brains are always trying to heal, given any opportunity, always looking for healing, always trying to change. And it is true that because our brains are always changing, they also integrate the hard things that happen. As much as we may wish to undo something that has happened to us, that is simply not possible. The work of healing, then, is to figure out how to move forward, integrating the truth of what has happened. Now, you may have heard about some of the fundamental impacts of trauma on the brain, what often get called triggers. Dr. Perry calls them evocative cues. He's describing the way sensory input, like a sound or a smell, comes in at the level of the brainstem, the survival level. And this part of the brain does not understand time. It lives in an eternal now. Some of these pieces of sensory input come in and remind the brain so strongly of something traumatic that it is as though the person is taken back into that moment. And it takes time for the input to reach the cortex, the highest level of the brain, the part that understands time, to know what is in the past and what is now. The cortex is the part of the brain that processes language and abstractions as well, things like our values, our imagination, our hopes. It is several levels away from this sensory input. And we know that certain kinds of experiences create those traumas, those eternal nows that live in the brainstem that can trigger flashbacks, like folks who hear fireworks and are thrown back into a memory of gunfire. We know that the more we are able to be present with people and ask questions like, what is it that happened to you? The more we can help care for each other to avoid or to help support and process these moments where these evocative cues can throw someone into a traumatic memory. Because one of the jobs of your brain is to keep you alive, these evocative cues are something that people become sensitized to. And because one of the jobs of your brain is to keep learning and changing, we also know that we can help each other understand these differently and heal some of the experiences. And we know that there are other ways that people may feel threatened. We are living in a time that is full of threat signals, full of not necessarily direct threats of physical violence or danger, but certainly the ongoing feeling of destabilizing threat to the way our society works. We know that we live in a time with threats about the elimination of the recognition of humanity for some of us, of increasing oppression, of looming chaos. So whether or not you come in with an experience of trauma, I'm going to guess that some part of your system is feeling taxed, is feeling threatened, is alert to certain cues. Now, we may not be Nerf balls, but we do have avenues for resilience that are available to every one of us. One foundational one is rhythm. We might think of babies being rocked, but it turns out that we never outgrow that. Humans always benefit from being rocked. This is available to every one of us, to stand and to sway, to sit in a rocking chair, to go for a walk, which sort of rocks your body as you move. This is a basic practice that can help regulate us when we feel stressed, triggered, afraid. And in fact, this is even a life hack you can use. Let's say you have to have a stressful conversation with someone. You're really keyed up about it. Can you take a walk with this person while you have this conversation? Can you meet someplace on a porch and sit in rocking chairs while you talk? This will help regulate your body even as you do something cognitively or emotionally stressful. And this is valuable because another foundational avenue toward healing is to make connections with others. We are a social species, we humans. We benefit from being in relationships of care and compassion, from benefiting from receiving each other's attention, like our kids talked about with those heart stones. To be able to connect with someone matters deeply to our own development of true resilience. So congratulations, you have chosen to come and be part of a community. That is one of the steps involved in making connections. Seeking out others with whom you can develop relationships is important to both healing and resilience. We know that being in safe, stable, and caring relationships is key to human well-being. And in those relationships, we can then engage in the fundamental human task of making sense of what we have experienced. Some of this involves big theological questions. What is the meaning of my life? Why is there evil in the world? And some of it, frankly, is like microdosing, processing little bits of your day. If you have a terrible day at work and you call a friend at lunch and you say, "Oh, I just feel so upset. I forgot to do this and my boss yelled at me and it was embarrassing," and your friend says, "Oh, that's the worst. I'm so sorry." You might feel a little better. Then you might go home and tell your partner almost the same story. And they too might say, "Oh, that's the worst." And you might feel even a little better. These small encounters in multiple relationships are sometimes exactly what we need. And this process is not just personal. The organizer and author Adrienne Murray Brown talks about thinking in fractals. If you are a math nerd, you may be picturing the different geometric fractal patterns. If you're more of a gardener or a botany nerd, you can picture a head of broccoli. Think about broccoli. Little tiny florets, and they cluster and they make those little bits of broccoli, and enough of them cluster and make a head. The small makes the large in a pattern that scales up and down. And so these questions of what healing and resilience, what connection and grounding looks like for us, these are, in fact, also societal questions. It matters that we understand how this works for us because we have to also understand how to bring about healing and resilience to our collective selves. Now, perhaps you, like me, read certain daily newsletters to help you make sense of what is going on in this country. Does anyone else read Heather Cox Richardson every day? Yeah, right? Heather Cox Richardson, she's a historian, and she is a chronicler of current events. She analyzes what is happening. She places it in a bigger context. She helps make order of the chaos. I certainly have an ongoing need in these times of chaos and stress to figure out what larger patterns are happening, to see how what happens now connects with history and to learn from that history. Yesterday, on the third No King's Day collection of protests, somewhere probably more than 8 million people, some estimates are as high as 11 million, but the New York Times said 8 million this morning, so I'm going to go with that. 8 million people gathered to connect with each other. They shared their visions for this country as it should be. They shared in regulating activities like singing together and marching together and chanting together. There were events in every congressional district in this country. About 3,100 events. And there were events on 6 continents, so I guess Antarctica wasn't represented, but everywhere else. American expats and others gathering in solidarity. This kind of gathering not only provides these opportunities for connection and for regulation, but also provides one other essential element for resilience: the reminder that we have agency. We have the ability to do things that affect the unfolding of the future. Experiences of stress and of trauma often leave people feeling powerless, like things are being done to us and there is nothing we can do about it. But as another of my daily newsletter authors, Robert Hubble, says, we are not potted plants. We have agency and can affect the outcomes. And the last practice, which also comes to us through the work of Heather Cox Richardson, is the reminder that honesty matters. People need to be able to tell the truth of what has happened in their lives. We need to be able to tell the truths of what has happened in our country. Perry and Winfrey write about the importance of knowing what it truly means for an institution, a workplace, a congregation, a school, to be trauma-informed, not just as a buzzword, but as a real practice. And they say it involves not only slowing down and letting individuals tell what happened to them, describe what is working on them, but also telling the truth about what has happened in a society, what kinds of oppression people have experienced, working as institutions not to perpetrate oppressions on each other. They write, I believe that if you don't recognize the built-in biases in yourself and the structural biases in your system, biases regarding race, gender, sexual orientation, and so on, if you don't recognize those, you cannot be truly trauma-informed. Because to be excluded or dehumanized in an organization, community, or society is also a form of prolonged, uncontrollable stress. American history has included this kind of exclusion and dehumanization on a societal level, and it is a powerful and important thing to learn, to tell, and to hold more and more of the truth of our history. It has been infuriating to watch this administration try to undo that truth-telling. But as Heather Cox Richardson wrote last night, quote, a funny thing happened on the way to the erasure of American history in favor of whitewashed authoritarianism. The American people have been preserving the truth of who we have been. She shares some specific examples and then says, even more dramatically, today's Americans are demanding the preservation not just of who we have been, but of who we are. Far from accepting the administration's whitewashed assertion that the nation has a, quote, unparalleled legacy of advancing liberty, individual rights, and human happiness, end quote, she says we are remembering our complicated history of community struggle and mobilizing our right to govern ourselves against those who would take that right from us. Millions of Americans and their allies turned out today for more than 3,100 No Kings events in all 50 states, U.S. territories, Washington, D.C., and towns and cities around the world in what appears to be the largest one-day protest in American history, she says. Instead of accepting the destruction of the true lessons of our past, we are bringing them back to life. In our reading, we heard about post-traumatic wisdom, the wisdom that can come through some healing from trauma that develops out of understanding the adversity we have experienced rather than staying trapped in it. Dr. Perry and Oprah say, and I agree, that the same is true for a society, not only an individual. While it is easy to be discouraged and overwhelmed by the many problems in our society, to be demoralized by the inequities, adversities, and trauma that are all too pervasive in the world, if you study history, you will recognize that the overall trajectory for humankind is positive. That people are capable of curiosity, of creativity, of healing, of connection, of real resilience. So this understanding, which they describe, which Heather Cox Richardson describes, the insistence on not carrying forward some false version of the past or being trapped in a sense of inevitable oppression, asks us instead to make a determined commitment to transformation. Individual healing helps open up more and more paths to empathy, connection, and compassion. And societal healing, well, just as our own brains are always wanting to heal, given any chance at all, I believe the same is true for all of us. So, blessings upon the contributions that each of us can make and are making in these trying times. May we keep opening these avenues, traveling these paths toward healing and resilience for us all, together. May it be so.
Speaking of contributions, we have come to the formal end of our annual pledge drive. For some of you are probably going, yay. You are a generous people, and we are very grateful for all you give, and we are close. But we're not yet at 100% participation, nor have we quite met our financial goal. Every pledge matters. If you have not had a chance to make your pledge, lucky you, it's not too late. In the fellowship hall, you will find a table where you can get pledge forms, and you can ask Barb, you can ask Ben. You just ask around, and I'm sure we'll find a way to get you the information you need. And on the website, one of the easiest places to find is the little tab that says donation. So please, if you haven't had a chance, try that out. It's also important for our congregation to support others. When there are 5 Sundays in the month, it's our tradition to share the 5th Sunday with our liberal religious exploration program. Now these folks back there, in that wing over there, provide a nurturing place to encourage lifelong growth for the youth, and our liberal education program also offers classes for adults. Donations to the Marion Pope Food Share may be placed in that little red wagon right there. And for all you give, however you give, thank you.
Will you please join with me in saying our words for giving thanks? They're in your order of service and they're up here. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our many gifts, including these offerings.
Reverend Monica is lighting our social justice lantern from the flame of our chalice. If ever there was a time to carry the flame of social justice and compassion out into the world, I think now is it. As we release the flames of our chalices, I'd like to share some words from James Galasinski. Our faith, like a light, illuminates the path before us so that we can face hurt with love, cultivate compassion, live humbly in community, and confront despair with the awe of life. Though our flames are extinguished, our faith shines bright before us.
A few announcements to share. There's plenty going on. You can find it on the back of your order of service or in the weekly update email that comes out on Fridays. Today at 1, there's a Queer Alliance potluck. At 3, we will hold a memorial service for UUCS member Larry Nassett. And then this evening, our hosting week for Family Promise, a program that provides transitional housing for unhoused families, begins. I think we still need a few more Family Promise volunteers, so if you're interested in being part of the team for this week and you'd like more information or to sign up, Sarah is here. If you can wave Sarah, she's in the back in the in the blue hoodie. You can come and check in and see if there's a way you can plug in to be part of supporting that. Coming up, a few exciting things. Next Saturday will be our annual Easter egg hunt. So if you have young ones of any age in your life, I believe there's a carefully cordoned off area for preschoolers all the way up to hunting kind of out in the woods for older kiddos. Next Sunday morning, there will not be Tai Chi at 10 a.m. because we'll be cleaning up from Family Promise. And then the following weekend, on Friday, April 10th, a social justice theater production opens. You may remember we had shows here in August. We have shows now of an adaptation of Wuthering Heights, one written specifically for this company, which will begin Friday, April 10th. It is an original queer-centered adaptation of Wuthering Heights. Tickets are available online. There's a QR code on the poster, or you can go on the website. This was written specifically for our conservatory theater company by a playwright who will be here on opening night. So if you are interested, do check that out. Proceeds will go to fund our social justice work from those shows. Take a look and see what else is going on. There is always more. But now, I want to invite you to rise in body, in voice, or in spirit for our closing hymn. It is a new one. This comes from our online hymnal, which has new music added to it all the time. And Grace is going to lead us.
Through
beautiful. You may take the hand of the people around you, or touch shoulders, or just send out good vibes as we say our closing words together. May faith in the spirit of life, hope for the community of earth, and love for the sacred in one another be ours now and in all the days to come.